Hello there, Cancer. Welcome to Dragon Tail Tarot. My name is Ariel, and this is your reading for March 1st through 15th, 2020. So glad to have you back. If you have been following my channel or if you are subscribed, thank you so much for returning. And if this is your first time visiting, welcome and thank you for checking out my channel. First, as always, a few quick notes before we get started with your session, that this is a general reading. It will not resonate with every single Cancer out there, but just check out your sun, your moon, your Venus, your rising sign. It will mostly correspond to those signs. If any of this doesn't make sense or any of it doesn't resonate, kick that on out to another Cancer. Basically take what makes the most sense and leave the rest behind. Like I said, this is mostly going to resonate with Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising. As I always say, check your chart because you may have other signs at play, of course, as we all do, and you can check out those readings as well. If you're looking for any information regarding a personal reading with me, information on the card decks that I use, all of that information is going to be below in the description box. And yes, if you have not yet, please do so. Reach out and subscribe, join the Dragon family, and also be sure to give it that dragon claw up by clicking the like button and let me know that you enjoy this content. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the astrology of this first couple weeks of March, and then we're going to get into a full tarot spread as well as some oracle cards to give you a good overall view of what's going on at this first half of March. So lots of Pisces energy right now. Sun, Neptune, and Mercury all in Pisces. Mercury is in retrograde right now in Pisces. So don't be surprised if this first couple weeks is very confusing, a little cloudy. If communication is really seeming off, then that would be definitely why. So I would always recommend, if you can, put off major decisions or, big things that you have to do in life, unless you just absolutely cannot. Definitely try to wait until that Mercury retrograde is over, and that will be March the 9th. So hang on in there till that. I would also point out that we have 4 planets moving in Capricorn right now, Cancer. That's going to really be highlighting your universal 7th house of relationships. So that's a big house for you, and it has been for a while. A lot of Cancers that I know are definitely have been going through major changes in that area of relationships, and that isn't just romance, guys. That's also friendships, working partnerships, all kinds of one-on-one, interactions. So definitely that's going to continue to be a very highlighted area of your life. Jupiter and Mars presence definitely helps it gain some momentum. Mars being in Capricorn, wow, that can definitely bring out some fire in your relationships, whether you're feeling more argumentative or they are, or people bringing up, some point of conflict that has to be healed. But don't be surprised if, people are not exactly always seeing eye to eye there, or you are also feeling a lot more fiery or feisty yourself, especially in the areas of your personal relationships. Yeah, all that Pisces energy that we're going through is happening in your universal 9th house of Sagittarius. So Cancer, don't be surprised as well if this first half of March you might be feeling kind of itchy, like you really want to travel somewhere, go somewhere new, see something different. You may also be really intrigued to maybe start a new course of study or be teaching someone else how to do something that you already know how to do. It kind of gives that teacher-student vibration there. But don't be surprised if it doesn't really take off until Mercury goes direct after March the 9th, y'all. So the other nice thing is Venus is going to be moving into Taurus on that same day that Mercury goes direct. Venus in Taurus is going to be very complementary to you, and I like that energy quite a lot. So if you were really going through kind of a challenging time with Venus squaring your sign in Aries, absolutely I would have seen that as being more difficult for Cancer, but once it moves into Taurus, that gets a lot nicer. It's also nice for money, after it goes into, Venus goes into Taurus. That'll be highlighting that, let's see, what house would that be for you, Cancer? Yeah, so that would actually be, let's see, so Cancer on the horizon, Let's go back one. So that's Gemini, Taurus. Yeah, that'll highlight that 11th house of Aquarius. So that definitely highlights your social circle and your humanitarian urges. So yeah, this could be a great time coming up, you know, especially getting into, you know, that second week of March and the rest of the month. Definitely time to give back to others and help people as much as you can. So let's go ahead and we're going to start. I've been shuffling your cards here for a little bit. I'm going to start out with a major arcana card to get some major themes, a chakra card, a druid animal card, and then we're going to go into your full tarot spread. Your angels, beings of light, guardians, ancestors, helpers, and healers, please be with the Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising sign of Cancer as we do their reading for March 1st through 15th, 2020. Please be with them throughout the session, protect their energy as well as mine, and bring through clear, accurate messages for their highest good. Thank you so much. And we brought up the Lovers card, Cancer. So this is absolutely having to do with communication. This is a Mercury, and this is all about Gemini. So Gemini is all about communication and partnerships. So Cancer, partnerships are very strongly highlighted. All of your relationships and the dynamic between them, what kind of energy you're attracting and putting out. And so that's coming very strongly up to the surface. For some of you, it could be about a romantic relationship, but the Lovers isn't always about that. It's got that very strong romantic connotation, of course, but it definitely has to do with all kinds of friendships as well, partnerships, and the way you communicate. So that's a big theme for you this first half of March. Just keep in mind that the communications are not going to be that smoothly flowing or clear cut until we get out of that retrograde. Ooh, I like that. We've brought the obsidian, and I honestly many times feel that this is a very strong Capricorn stone. I wear tourmaline or black obsidian a lot, and this is a strong stone of protection. It also absorbs negativity. It's a really great one to keep around. It's aligned with the root chakra, so if you have felt ungrounded, unstable, or prone to like psychic or spiritual emotional attack, that is a very, very good protective stone to keep nearby. So let's pull a druid animal card now and see which one of these guys is going to come out for you. And look at that, we have some Taurus energy coming up with the bull. And let me point out that in this druid animal deck, we have both the feminine and the masculine. So there is a cow card in here as well. So the bull is definitely the more masculine side of that. It's very strong, it's very grounded. It definitely brings in a little bit of that warrior spirit as well, because the bull is kind of like, you don't go messing with the bull in the field, you know? It's like he's not going to put up with people messing with his territory. And so right now, Cancer, you might feel kind of that way yourself. You might feel a little bit more, like I said, you're probably feeling a little more feisty, a little bit more willing to fight for what you care about, less willing to back down, but it's also really that connected along with that root chakra with the obsidian. To me, this is like you really need to ground and center about what you want to communicate, especially to a loved one, because that's what's coming up. So we combine that all together, you get grounded and rooted communication. So let's move Mr. Dragon over here, and we're going to dig into your tarot. I'm going to be doing the main spread with the Radiant Rider-Waite, and then I will be clarifying when necessary with the Celestial Tarot. So let's go ahead and see what we've got for Cancer for March 1st through 15th, 2020, Spirit. Let's see if they'll shuffle for me. My goodness, a lot of energy here. Some of you Cancers might be feeling a little bit I don't know, I'm just feeling just a tiny bit of hostility for some of you. Of course, this is general, so take that as it resonates, but some of you are just like, like you're big time in protection mode. Like you just don't want to let much in right now. Putting that crab shell up. Yeah, feeling that quite a lot from some of the Cancers. Interesting to see what'll come out in this reading. Okay, Cancer. Well, my goodness. This is some great cards coming up for y'all. No matter how you might be feeling. Pretty nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and start out. Here's what's going on at the center of your spread. So this is where you are right now. Four of Wands is coming up, and that is so much about, you know, many times that twin flame connection. Many people read this as like, you know, the 1111 that those wands are creating there. But overall, this is always a, you know, a card of home, family, stable, grounded feeling. You know, it's a very happy card, very bright, kind of positive, upbeat energy. The other thing that I would point out, of course, is it's a 4. You are the 4th sign of the zodiac as well. So to me, that's always significant because it's your own numeric energy. So Cancer right now, irregardless of where you are, it's like that's really either what you are experiencing right now. Some of you, that's really just what you're hoping for. You know, that's what you really want to create and cultivate and have in your life. So let us clarify that just to see what might be modifying that card. Okay, whoa, so yeah, the moon, this is all about using your intuition. This is also, to me, this is that High Priestess card. So this is connected to the moon, which is your ruling planet. So very strong coming out here for Cancer. But to me, when that High Priestess shows up, this is all about using your intuition, your psychic abilities, all of that in order to understand how to create and cultivate that happy home environment. Absolutely. So in the immediate past, we have that Queen of Cups. This to me is mostly a Scorpio energy, even though this could also be Pisces or Cancer. This is a very water sign card, but it's mostly Scorpio alignment. She is holding that cup, but the cup has that lid on it, and that's very Scorpio because she isn't revealing every single thing that she's feeling. And so Cancer, I have a feeling that for you, for many of you out there, it's like in this immediate past you have almost an emotional secretiveness. You haven't been revealing every single thing that you're feeling, and even right now you're not revealing everything because when you get that High Priestess coming in on top of that Four of Wands, my goodness, it's like, you know, you might be really kind of maybe pining for someone or a situation or to create a happy home with them, and maybe you're not telling them everything that maybe they should know. And look at what modified the immediate past. We got the Four of Wands just from the other deck coming out here. So Four of Wands is coming in very strong for your reading already because we pulled it from both decks. And that to me tells me that there is, for some of you, a very strong, very beautiful reality that has come into place. Some of you, especially around the home and, you know, having that sense of family, of belonging, of, you know, no matter what shape that takes, whether it's a more traditional marriage situation or if it's just like your whole family's together and you're feeling really good about it, or you've kind of found your soul tribe and you're all coming together to live together or work together harmoniously. But there's something really beautiful there. However, there is that very you know, a little bit secretive, a little bit mysterious feeling around this with that High Priestess and that Queen of Cups. So it's like for some of you, you know, since this is general, you may be reading it a different way where it's sort of like, that's what I wish for, that's what I dream of. And right now it's like you've got to be, you know, sort of in a sort of introspective energy where you're kind of going within to see, you know, how could I create that? How could I have more of that? Going into the immediate future, though, Cancer, whether you're experiencing, you know, the better side of this or the more challenging side of this, we do have the Star coming forward, and that is a wonderful card that always to me indicates that you've really been through quite a lot, and the universe is very much rewarding you. This is also greater stability, it's greater balance, it's overcoming challenges, going to the next plateau. The Star is very strong Aquarius energy, so Aquarius could factor prominently either in your chart or somebody around you. So let's put, oh yeah, the Seven of Cups. So there's a lot of options here. So yeah, immediate future, this next couple weeks, I think that this is definitely showing the influence of that Mercury retrograde in Pisces. There's a little bit of confusion, a little bit of cloudiness around this reading so far, which really doesn't surprise me because of where we are with Mercury. It does definitely make all of our thinking, all our communications a little bit hazy, a little bit cloudy. It's just the way it is. We work through these cycles all the time. So underneath, on the undercurrent, you have that King of Swords, just as very sharp intellectual energy. To me, this again really highlights that Aquarian energy. This could also be Gemini or Libra, but I definitely see King of Swords as very Aquarian. Just like that Star is a very Aquarius, you know, alignment on that card. So this could be an air sign person that could be really strongly around you, or this could just be you, you know, on your unconscious mind saying, you know what, I have to be more clear. I have to be, you know, operating a little bit more from my intellect and less from my intuition. Sometimes that's right for you, Cancer. Sometimes it's not, because part of this reading I'm feeling is very emotional and very intuitive, but then underneath that undercurrent, you're kind of feeling like you need to be a little bit more cool, and maybe a little bit more calm, and there's nothing wrong with keeping your calm, especially if things have been kind of emotional and dramatic. Nothing wrong with kind of, you know, calming that down, because right now it doesn't really help to get into a whole lot of drama. So Two of Wands on top of that King of Swords, this could definitely be you having a clear, you know, kind of intellectual approach to your new plans or the things that you want to see coming in the immediate future. Definitely a message from Spirit up crowning the top of your reading. We've got the Hermit card. So Cancer, this is very Virgo energy. This could be you taking some time out to do some personal healing or introspection, but they're definitely telling you you may need some very helpful and healing time to yourself alone. So yeah. And then on the Ten of Wands, yeah, because Cancer, oh, I know a lot of you have come through so much when it comes to especially relationships, you know, and that Ten of Wands to me always says, you know, you're wrapping up the end of a burdensome cycle. You're recovering and healing from some things that have been really difficult and really challenging. So let's get you some advice. All right, Cancer. Well, here we go. Suggested approach, Nine of Cups. So to me, this is all about, you know, seeking that wish fulfillment, looking for that thing that will make you content, because the card that comes before this is that Eight. So this is to me like you left behind something that wasn't, you know, emotionally fulfilling, spiritually fulfilling. So this is you. It's like keep going forward. If you haven't quite got there yet to that ninth cup of wish fulfillment, don't give up. Going into what you need to know, you've got this Four of Cups, so don't let people take you for granted, and don't you let them take you for granted either, Cancer. This is really, you know, the guy is like, well, things are going pretty good, but it's like, why don't I have that other cup? So instead of being happy or content or really cultivating what's here, he's like, if only I had that other cup, it would all be okay. But we know how that is. It's like, even if it comes, then we're going, where's the other one? So definitely take everything that's good in your life you know, really appreciate it and be, you know, really cultivate that gratitude. Going over the hopes and fears, there is that Sun card, Cancer. So to me, it's like many of you that may be in that more challenging mode, it's like you're really hoping that that sun's going to come out tomorrow. And, you know, but you're also kind of simultaneously fearing that it won't. But the Sun card to me is one of the most positive cards in the whole tarot. So whenever that comes out, it's hard for me not to take that as a very positive sign that better days are coming. So let's just pull a modifier on that one. Right, so look at that. We've got Pisces. So over top of the sun, we have the moon. So I would say that this is definitely a couple of messages from Spirit for you, Cancer. One of them is obviously that equal balance of masculine and feminine energy. You know, both the light and the dark are very important to your cycle right now. The moon card is also ruled by that Pisces sign. So yet again, we have a lot of Pisces, including our Mercury retrograde there. So this to me is be patient with the confusion, be patient with a little bit of the setbacks or having to be, you know, to work through that confusing time that we're in right now. See, I can barely talk, and it's like, it's the Mercury retrograde, I swear. So yeah, so be patient. Don't take that as like, oh, it's not going to work out. No, it's just right now things are more confusing. It's harder to see them clearly. But I believe once we pass out of this retrograde, a lot of things will be made more clear for all of us. So then on your outcome card, look who comes back up. High Priestess yet again. She was at the center of your reading, and now she's at the outcome yet again. So Cancer, to me, this is you gaining again in intuition and wisdom. So it's like everything that you've learned, some of it's a little bit hard to even express in words. You just feel it very deeply. But this could mean that you're going to start to be able to take some of those lessons that you've learned so much from and really put them to use in your everyday life. And look at that, 10 of Cups coming out on top of that High Priestess. So Cancer, I think by, you know, getting into the middle of the month and beyond, it's like all of it starts to come full circle. There you go, from the 9 of Cups down here that we started all the way up to the 10, which is that last cup of wish fulfillment. So that's a very beautiful reading. I really like this one for you. So let's pull a last card from the Hero's Journey Oracle. And we're just going to get you a last bit of advice to sum up your reading. Look at that. So look, one with the sun. Oh my goodness, Cancer. Be the light is the message. It's a number 5 card, which is a Leo signs number, absolutely ruled by the sun. And it makes me think that sun card came up in your reading, and there is the sun card coming in again at the very end. So this is really telling you to embrace that lighter side, that more optimistic side. And I would also say that for some Cancers, this could even be a special, you know, extra message that the time of Leo will be very important to you. And we are still on that energy from the Leo full moon of February, and that was the last full moon cycle that we're still moving through. So Leo is very important to you, Cancer. And yeah, as we get into the time of Leo, that would be like the end of July, kind of, you know, like July 22nd, 23rd, going through about that same time in August. So thank you so much for joining me, Cancer. I will see you guys soon. Take care.